Bonjour, bienvenue dans un nouveau blog. J'ai une triste nouvelle à vous annoncer, le Mentalist c'est terminé. Non mais je vous entends rigoler là. Je vous entends sur ouais, champagne et tout. C'était pas si mauvais que ça, d'abord. Bon, arrêtez le champagne aussi. Le Mentalist c'est terminé, mais on a eu surtout l'occasion de rencontrer le créateur de la série, à savoir monsieur Bruno Heller, qui quand même a fait Rome avant de faire le Mentalist, vous savez, la série de HBO qui a coûté un paquet d'argent, et qui, après le Mentalist, a fait Gotham, est en train de faire Gotham, la série qui parle de l'enfance de Bruce Wayne, du commissaire Gordon. Mais nous, on a voulu l'interroger surtout sur ce Mentalist et surtout sur le fait que l'histoire centrale du Mentalist, à notre sens, à savoir la poursuite de ce meurtrier qui est Red John, s'est terminée et qu'il est resté dans la série jusqu'à la fin de cette histoire pour partir sur la production de Gotham à partir du moment où elle était résolue. Écoutez-le bien, vous allez voir pourquoi, à son avis, terminer l'histoire de Red John était pour lui terminer l'histoire de Mentalist.
Well, here's the thing. From a writerly point of view, I had never considered carrying on after we had solved the story. I thought it's like Moby Dick. We had to kill the white whale, and then c'est tout. But as the story went on, and as the characters became more real, it seemed. And this was an idea that, you know, and this is the beauty of television and the collaborative nature of the medium. Peter Roth, who runs Warner Brothers Television, the studio, suggested to me that not only should we finish the Red John story, we should solve that part of the drama, but we should then tell the story of Jane coming home, if you like.
A new dynamic
yeah,
for the characters.
A new dynamic for the characters, a new location, a new sense of hope, and what happens after. Because there is often a conflict between what a writer would think is the formally correct thing to do and what an audience actually wants. The audience, for any story, always wants to know, well, all right, what happened next? What happened after? For them, and you know, if you're telling the story right, then these are real people, and they want to know if they lived happily ever after. And in a popular medium, as opposed to, you know, literary novels, it's important to be generous to the audience in that way, to allow for that desire, that natural human desire for the narrative to come to a happy conclusion, or at least a fully coherent conclusion. And it was, I think it, you know, and I say it's because it was Peter's suggestion. It was a brilliant suggestion because it allowed us to bring those characters into the light and to give it a truly happy ending. And for me, and I say this in distinction to sort of a literary writer or a sort of more sophisticated writer, if you like, narrative is, you know, what we're doing is exactly the same thing as you know, hunter-gatherers around a fire telling stories about that world. The stories are told for reassurance and to stop people being fearful of a very terrifying world, of being around a fire in the night. You want stories that are positive, that give you a sense of hope and encouragement. That to me is the essence of popular storytelling, and only people whose lives are, you know, happy, bourgeois and sophisticated can really want stories that end with ambivalence and tragedy and no sense of closure. For me, it's about, for me, popular storytelling is about listening to the audience's desires, and I said that rather crudely, but I feel it strongly that there is an ethical obligation to leave the audience feeling that they are happy to have heard this story, rather than feeling that they have learnt a lesson, or they have discovered that life is essentially tragic. I mean, life is essentially tragic, but that's the purpose of stories, not to be like life.
Absolutely.
So hence the happy ending.